Well, here we have another Sunday here at the Python Pit. I haven't posted in a little while. Been busy getting things set up. My other life. Like I keep saying, this is all privately funded by me. And today we're not doing a short video. We're gonna do a compilation of a couple of longer videos. Today I'm not gonna really restrict myself with time. So again, I'm just hanging out here, and I happen to be hanging out with Spectre. And he happens to be a male yellow belly piebald. Forgive me if I'm not saying it right. I don't have it written down in front of me, but he's one of my newer arrivals. And yeah, my little setup over here. It's kind of like where I chill out, do some videos and other things. And again, main reason why I do what I do, one, I do it for my own personal enjoyment. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I love reptiles. I love anything about them, and I love rescuing them. And that's another thing, too. Again, I don't know if anybody's aware. I have mentioned it in several other videos, but I'll mention it again here at T-Rex's Python Pit. We'll also do rescue. Any type of reptile you have, we do rescue. And if there's anything I could ever do to help anybody out, any of my people watching these videos or anything to that effect, feel free to comment, reach out and touch me. I'm on Facebook, Michael Long. I'm also on YouTube. That would be T-Rex's Python Pit -PZ6FT. And yeah, I'm always looking to help out, rehome, and help rehabilitate, do anything I can for these guys, because they're just incredibly awesome. It's a pastime line, like I said, but it's developed into a lot more of a hobby right now. Give you a little thing here. Let me just get Spectre. The last part of the video paused, so I'm going to continue going on. But this is kind of the setup I got here. Let me spin this. Again, this is all my house. I got animals everywhere, but they're really nicely placed in my opinion, and if you don't like it, well, kiss my ass. But that's my dining room. There's Rose. And this is what we do here, man. We just hang out. Again, like I was stating before, I interrupted myself in the end of the last part of this video. Like I said, it's going to be a couple of videos. I'm going to combine it, like a 15-minute thing. But yeah. Do a rescue, rehabilitation, and like I said, if I can offer any advice, I am no expert, not by any means, but I do have over 20 years experience messing with these animals, some more than others. As you can tell by the name of my channels, and me calling myself the Python Pit, that's primarily where my expertise do lie, if they would be expertise. But I have boas, I have corn snakes, I have king snakes. What else do we have here? King snakes, dogs, as you can hear, cats, geckos. We have chameleons. We have skinks. We have scorpions, tarantulas, turtles. Different kinds of turtles. So I got a tortoise. I got some side-headed turtles. I got a slider turtle. We have boas, as I do believe I've said. We have day geckos, crested geckos, white-lined geckos, actually a male and a female. And eventually we plan on doing a pretty decent breeding program here. We also have some hognose. We have a couple of other breeding pairs of boas. We have some breeding pairs of pythons, breeding pairs of geckos, white-lined geckos, leopard geckos, bearded dragons, and hopefully we have a male and female pair of veiled chameleons. So in the very near future, we're going to be working with that as well. Trying to think here, this is kind of a little weird. I'm trying to expand everything. I'm trying to get back, get more into social media and see how it goes out. Again, it's more of a pastime than anything else. But as you can see by my friends here, it's more than a pastime to me, and they're just awesome animals. And in this series of videos, like I said, I'm going to bring out a couple of different ones. I don't cohabitate with any of my animals, except for breeding purposes, which I'm getting, into. And again, I'm no expert, so if anybody sees anything I'm doing that they think is wrong, please feel free to comment or anything like that. And again, if you need any help, ask away, and I will offer advice. I will say that some of the things I do is a little bit different than some. I've seen some things, like you'll see in some of my videos, for instance, my leopard geckos and my bearded dragons, I use Repticarpet. Now, I've heard people say in some of their videos that the Repticarpet is bad for them, that their nails get stuck, and this, that, and the other thing. And the only thing I can say to that is, and it's also, they say it's like a host for bacteria and all this. Well, first of all, we wash our Repticarpets very regularly, and you only get a certain amount of time out of them. It's just like with anything else. So you're not going to have a Repticarpet for a year. I'm sure after a year, they're probably pretty nasty. I keep mine for anywhere from a month to maybe 2 months, and they're not cheap, but they're not extremely expensive, so I just throw them in the trash and get new ones. They work for me in that way. I have never had a problem. I have, I don't know, eight or nine animals currently that have been over 2 years with the Repticarpet. I've never had any problem, but again, people do, and hey, I'm not knocking what they do, just don't knock what I do. What I do works. But again, if anybody has any comments, I'd always love to hear them. And we're going to expand this channel. We're gonna do a lot more activity here shortly with these animals, and plan on coming up with another channel too, which is going to be just more me talking about, I don't know, stuff. But anyway, so this is again Spectre, and one of my newer arrivals. In fact, actually, give me 1 second here. Like I said, I have so many of these animals, it's impossible to keep track of them in your mind. I mean, maybe some people can. I am not one of them. But now, if you give me 1 second here, Spectre is a male, as I said, and last I weighed him was on the 22nd of October, and at that point in time, he weighed about 718 grams. So he's a little over, he's about 3 feet in my opinion, because my arms are about 2, and I got some of his tail over here, and I got some of his head over here. So he's just about 3 feet long, 718 grams. Again, a vanilla yellow-bellied piebald ball python. And I'm looking for a female currently to match him with. And like I said, we'll be bringing out some other ones and tagging all these videos together. We're going to go for, like, I don't know, maybe a 15-minute, maybe a half an hour compilation of videos. We'll see how the day goes. So, okay. And continuing on with this compilation of videos we're going to do here, this is another snake here in the Python pit, and this is Cookie. Now, I don't play favoritism here, but King, I don't know if you've ever seen King in some of my videos. Well, that's my Albano Brooks King snake, and that was one of the first snakes that in this particular segment, in this particular era. See, back in the day, and I say back in the day, I mean back in like the early 2000s, I had a couple of snakes. I lived in Parksville, and didn't really go far with it. I just had a couple of snakes, a python and a boa, if I remember correctly, and that was that. Well, past couple of years, about 5 years ago, I moved into this location where I'm at now, Monticello, New York. And I went out and I bought a green tree python. Y'all have seen her. She's the crown jewel of my collection. That's Sprite. And I've had her now for 5 years. And she was about 2 years old, maybe 3 when I got her, and she's just phenomenal. Well, shortly after I got Sprite, I got a Bella, and then I don't know, it slowly started taking to where it is now. I slowly, over the course of the past 5 years, have come across animals. This year, I will admit, I've done probably 40% of what you see has come this year alone. And this Cookie, again, would be one of them. I got her back in March of this year. And, again, when I got her, she was maybe 12 inches. And she's just like King, a California King, except she's black and white banded. And you'll have to forgive my dogs in the background. They one you hear being so aggressive, that's my old man, JJ. He's playing around with Diesel. In fact, here, I'll show everybody since they really so much. There's the Diesel. There's the old man. And you think that the old man is getting tormented by Diesel, but no, he goes up and starts with Diesel. Yeah. See, they just want attention. That's all this is, right, guys? Yeah. Anyway, back to what. So, again, when I got Cookie, she was very young. She was only 3 months old. And now she's about a year old. I last weighed her around the 21st of October. She was 68 grams, almost 70 grams. She eats about 3 pinkies per week. She's probably one of my best eaters. Every once in a while, she will take a little while to eat a pinky. She's eating pinkies now / fuzzies. She's pretty much primarily fuzzies, but it depends on her mood. And again, the main thing I want to show in of the Python Pit, what I'm trying to get out there to people, is that all these animals are incredibly cool. And again, they're all captive bred. That's my big thing too. I do not deal in wild animals. I will say that a couple of the snakes that I've gotten, I used to deal with a company, I'm not going to go mention their name, but they're out of Florida, and I did not realize that they were, selling wild bred animals, wild caught animals, and I did purchase a couple of snakes and from them. In fact, actually, Cookie here came from them, but she was actually captive bred. I didn't understand that until after doing a lot more research. That's the other thing that's happened this year too. I've gone, my knowledge and my pursuit of knowledge has gone through the roof. I have been purchasing books. I've been doing a lot of research on these snakes, and you'll see their habitats are a little different than a lot of people do. With Cookie here, I have her in an Aspen snake bedding. I have her in a 10-gallon tank. I got a hide in there and a water source, and I run a daylight and I run a heat lamp at night. I don't believe in heat rocks. I've never used heat rocks. Heard too many bad stories about them. And the thing I like about my heat lamps is even on a 10-gallon tank, I can make one side of the tank have a warm spot and the other side have a cool spot, which anybody who knows anything about snakes, no matter what snake it is, they all require that. Depending on the snake, obviously, is the variation of those temperatures, but still. And as you can see, she's just doing phenomenal. And King, again, who I was bringing up earlier, that's my Albano Brooks King snake. I got him just the same when he was like 3 months old, and I've had him now for almost 4 years, and you see how big he got. The only thing that I will mention as compared to pythons that I will find with the king snakes is they are a little bit more jumpy. I'm not going to say aggressive because King very rarely bites me, very rarely. Most of the time it's when he's in shed and he still eats, because he's one of those snakes that even if he's like 100% in shed, he will still eat. He's a pig. So that's just how it is. But he's not biting me to hurt me. And as you see her, she doesn't like to chill. Now, you've seen Spectre. She's kind of a little mobile. But like Moonshine, one of my regulars, that's my banana ball python sitting up here behind me. She's just very chill. And that just happens to be pythons. But again, then look at the boas I have. I have 2 boas that come to mind. I have more than 2 boas, but I have 2 Colombian boas. One is female, and her name is Scarlet. You've seen videos of her, and she is just chill. She is just a very well-mannered snake. I can put her up to my face like this and I have no fear of her. Well, then we have her boyfriend, and that's primarily what they were bought for. That's Juggernaut, and he's the one who's gotten all the likes on my YouTube videos, almost 1,000 views and everything. He's the one who hisses, and he's just a straight-up a-hole. But that's just, snakes are like people. Reptiles are like people. Some people say they're not, but I beg to differ. They all have personalities. And just like, I can take a Chihuahua and make a Chihuahua the most vicious dog you've ever seen. And I can take a Pit Bull and make a Pit Bull baby. Well, it's the same thing with snakes. And sometimes, though, just like with people, no matter how much you work with them, they're not going to change. And I kind of feel that's how Juggernaut's going to be. I have no problems with Juggernaut. I love taking him out. In fact, I'll probably bring him out. I don't know about in this compilation, but again, very soon. I try to take out all my snakes at least once a week. It is kind of difficult, though, because like I said, we are at the Python Pit here at about, I'd say 70 reptiles total, not just snakes. Again, as I mentioned, we have several different kinds, but... And I'm not saying she's my favorite, but I love her temperament. I love the size of her. I love how she's growing. And this is one of the things that I love about reptiles, is just being involved in this world. I mean, you can go on Discovery Channel if you like, and I do. I watch a lot of Discovery Channel, but some of these things I can actually have live and in person. And I know you're saying, well, it's cruel, blah, 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 but no. This is a captive bred snake, so it was going to be in someone's tank regardless. And I'm going to tell you right now, if my snakes could talk, they would all tell you the same thing. They love it here. I have snakes that I have had for 5-6 years, and I don't even keep lids on their locks on their lids. Why? Because they don't try to escape. They like where they live. They like their environment. They know that if they wait to feeding day, they're going to get food. They got everything they need in their little habitats. They got water. They got shelter. And, just like with a human being, if a human being's comfortable, he ain't going nowhere. Well, it's the same thing with a snake. But then on the other hand, I do have my little escape artists. Cabal, my one corn snake. He just likes to get out. I don't believe it's because he's unhappy. I believe it's more because he's just one of those explorers. Again, personalities. Personalities with snakes, personalities with reptiles. Some people call me some things, and hey, I agree with them. I can be. And being that these videos here at the Python Pit, we're trying to keep for kids. Well, we won't say what I can be or what people consider me to be, but me and Juggernaut are considered to be the same thing, a-holes. So, whatever. But hey, again, no. I'm going to get out and I'll probably bring out Moonshine. And again, like I said, I try to hold them all once a week. Sometimes twice a week. It depends. Moonshine happens to be one of my faves. I'm not going to lie. I try not to play favoritism, but she's just convenient. She's right there behind me. This is where I chill out most nights. And her temperament is just, phenomenal. But again, so is Cookie. But then you have King. So again, the point of all this is I want to increase people's knowledge of what's going on, and I want to increase my own. So if you have some comments, please feel free to comment. Again, like I said it on Facebook. My name Michael Long. On YouTube, it's T-Rex's Python Pit dash PZ. No, T-Rex's Python Pit dash P6FT. PZ6FT, I'm sorry. And again, any comments or anything I can do to help you out. And like I said, with the rescue, that's what the other thing we're doing. We're taking them in. I probably say about 15% of the snakes I my recent ones, are all rescues. And not necessarily rescues from bad situations, just rehomed. People didn't want them anymore, like Ursula, the gentle giant. The one lady happens to be a friend of mine on here that I got her from. And I'm not commenting at all that she did any kind of a bad job raising that gentle giant, because look at her. She's huge. But she just couldn't give her the attention she needs. And I don't know if I give them all the attention they need, but I can tell you that I do the very best I can, and all my snakes are incredibly happy, and they're incredibly well taken care of to the best of my ability anyway. Am I an expert? No. Do I have any proper training? No. But I do have over 20 years of experience of playing around with these, and trial and error, I've learned some stuff. So again, I'm going to go put Cookie away, and I'll bring out somebody else. I don't know how long of a video we're going for. It's a compilation this time. And we're still going to do shorts, those 1-minute videos, because I do have a lot of good luck with those. But like I said, this is all about increasing my social media footprint. Hopefully by Christmas time, Santa Claus is going to help me out with some more tools. Some more tools to make better videos, to edit videos, and do things of that nature. And if anybody happens to have any comments as far as what kind of equipment you use, any of my social media friends that do this as well, there's a bunch of people out there, DVV, the Dad Bod Veteran, Andy's Little Homestead, a bunch of things that I just happen to watch, and I see they do great editing jobs. If they happen to see any of my videos, and they can comment any kind of equipment that they purchase to do certain things, because all I want to do here is, one, I want to keep myself entertained, which obviously I'm doing. And two, I want to provide a little bit of info. I want people to understand that these are not animals to be afraid of. I'm more afraid of a bee than I am of her. And that's the same with Juggernaut. I'm not afraid of Juggernaut by any means. I'm just respectful of Juggernaut. I know that he's a 7-foot-long boa, and I know that he has some power behind him, and if I'm not careful, he'll put a hurting on me. Well, but that doesn't mean that he's not a great animal and a great pet. Same thing with a dog. You got to be respectful of them. They got to know who's boss, but on the other hand, you got to know where you can go and where you can't. And Juggernaut's just one of those ones who, if you happen to go where you can't, he's going to let you know real quick. Right, Cookie? So again, my black and white banded California king snake, And if anybody also, the other thing I want to say too, is if you happen to want to see more of a particular individual, let me know. Because just because I'm not bringing them up in videos doesn't mean they're not out. I mean, every day, even when I come home from work, I work a 12-hour day. I come home, I spend 2-3 hours sitting out here in my lab, as I like to call it. And I hold all my snakes and play with them as much as I can. And I don't put it all on video because honestly, it's a pain in the butt. But if anybody happens to have a particular animal that I have that they want to see more of, please leave some comments, and I'll do my best to make sure some more they make more frequent appearances. Okay. Now another animal we're going to bring out, another one of my friends. This is Gandalf. He's my Kenyan sand boa, and yes, as you can tell, he is shedding. I weighed him back in October, the 21st, just at the end of October. He's 128 grams. He's been off food now for about a month. He normally eats 3 fuzzies a week, sometimes a little bit more. He's my fat little sausage, that's what I call him. And again, they're Kenyan boas. They get to be anywhere from 3 to 4 feet long. Again, I'm no expert, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what the information I have on him. And I keep him, I don't know if you've ever seen the video I've done on all my snakes' habitats, but some people disagree with it, but I keep him in an aspen snake bedding. I also use some chip mulch sometimes with him as well. That's what I have Hogsworth in me. He's my hognose snake. And I provide everybody with a hide. I provide everybody with water. Provide them with some sort of decoration, some sort of stuff in their tank. I keep his kind of plain Jane because he spends all his time burrowed. I very rarely will see him come up above his substrate. So, and that's what they do. They're a burrowing snake. So, and again, I've had him now for, I don't know, I got him back in July of 22. So, and when I got him, he was a year old at that point. So, he's a little over 2 years old. He's like almost 2.5. And again, as you can see, he's just beautiful, awesome. And, you know, just another one of my fascinating friends here that I think is well worth his time and effort. Again, he wasn't one of my cheaper snakes. Not one of my most expensive, but he's a couple $100. He's no cheap. He wasn't cheap. And none of the snakes really are. I mean, you can get some of my boas that I have, like the one boa Hades I have. That I just happened to get that because my son wanted one, and I was like, what the hell, I'll buy one with you. And they're only like, $50 to $100, nothing major. But some of my snakes, like some of my boas, they're $500-600. My green tree python, she's probably worth $4,000 or $5,000. It's not a cheap thing to get into. It's really not. And then, all the heating lamps and stuff I got going on. I mean, I don't know if you see what's going on behind me there and over there and then over here. I have heating lamps everywhere. So, unfortunately, I will admit, I'm one of Nice Egg's favorite customers. Yes, my electric bill is quite high. But, it's a trade-off. Not to mention, feeding them is very expensive. Like I said, I have over 70 different animals, all said and done. Some eat pinkies and mice. Some eat rats. Some eat crickets. Some eat vegetables. So, on average, right now here at the pit, we're spending about $200 a week, give or take, on food. And probably $100 a week on substrate and whatnot. But like I always say, I provide my snakes, my reptiles. Same thing with my dogs and my cats. My kids, provide them with the best life that I possibly can. And as you can see, they're very happy. Again, I know he looks a little rough, but he's shedding. And he's just about done shedding. He's got a little bit left here, nothing major. And again, very, very good pet, very good friend. They're great listeners, and they're just amazing creatures if you actually sit and spend any time with them. Sometimes when I come home from work or before I go to bed late at night, I just walk around my house and I just stare into their enclosures and watch them existing, and fascinating in my opinion. But again, so I don't know if Gandalf has anything else he wants to add, but again, this is going to be a compilation of 4 or 5 videos. We're going to go either for 15 or 30 minutes, put that up and see what happens. We're trying to expand our footprint both on YouTube and Facebook. I haven't decided if I'm going TikTok or not. I don't know. This is all kind of new to me. I'm working on it. But I do have to admit, I like showing off my friends. And I like providing information. And hopefully, the main goal of the Python Pit is to, even if we just inform a few people that these animals they're just more than, something to look at. They're incredibly awesome to interact with. All of my animals I hold, I play with. I take them out. You do have to, with some you have to give very special attention, especially with the smaller ones. I have cats and dogs, so if I was to leave him unattended for a few moments, I'm sure he would make a very satisfying snack for one of my cats. But again, put forth some effort and you get some amazing creatures that'll stay with you forever. And like I said, they're happy where they live. They're happy. He's one of the ones that I don't have locks on. He doesn't try to escape. He has no want to escape. Doesn't know life outside of his cage. And he likes his cage. He likes his life. And that's another sign, snake shedding. A lot of people wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that's a good thing. That's what snakes do. That's how you know you got a healthy snake. As long as it's shedding, it's growing. And that's what they do. So again, Gandalf says goodbye. And I don't know, we're probably going to add one more. Maybe I'll bring a Moonshine out or somebody else. But again, like I keep saying in all these videos, we're trying to expand our footprint here. And we want to get more viewers. We want to get more subscribers. So please like and subscribe to me. I'm also on YouTube at Michael Long. Facebook is Michael Long. And my YouTube name, I just recently changed it. It's T-Rex's Python Pit. PZ-6FT. That's on YouTube. And I don't know, we got something like 100 videos up there, 150 videos, and that's where this will end up. And we're going to keep putting more and more. And yeah. And if anybody has any suggestions, or again, if anybody wants to see any more of my friends in particular, let me know, or any comments, or anything I can do to help you out. We do rescue. So yeah, we'll see you again, and thanks for watching. Okay. Another part of the compilation, I keep mentioning him, and I want to bring him out again. He's a little feisty. This is King. This is my albino Brooks king snake. And when I say he's feisty, I don't mean that he bites me, although occasionally he will nibble. He's just very movie. He does not want to stay stationary at all. And also he has this thing whenever I take him out and I play with him enough, he craps on me. And, by the way, just so you know, that's something you got to look forward to when you own snakes. They do crap on you, and it's going to happen. But again, he's an albino Brooks king snake. I got him back in January of 2020. So when I got him in January of 2020, he was about, I'd say, 4 months old, 5 months old. He was smaller than Cookie. And now here we are, November of 23. And look at the size of my man. And he is just, I'm not going to say my favorite. I say a favorite with a lot of my snakes, but I happen to have a personal attachment to him because when he was a baby, I had to start him literally at frozen dead pinkies and work him up to eating live pinkies and then work him up to fuzzies, hoppers, and now he eats mice. He eats about once a week. He was almost 700 grams at his last weigh, which is back in January. Yeah, he's getting ready to nibble on me. But he's not doing that because he's shedding, if you can see. So his eyes are kind of glazed over. And he can sense my warmth, and he thinks it might be time to eat. And again, we're probably going to try to feed him, and I've done videos of him eating before. In fact, he's one of the best videos I've done of a snake eating. But he's just an awesome guy. And he's not mean. He's not mean at all. He's actually one of my better temperamented snakes. He just gets really excited really easy. And his food instinct is like on point. My man smells a mouse. You can see his tail. He's wiggling his tail. He does like a rattle thing. I call him my little rattlesnake because he acts like a rattle. But that's all he's about. He's just raised him since he was a baby. And I look forward to many, 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 many more years. And that's actually a her. I'm sorry. That's the other thing, too. Back in the day, as I said, my knowledge on snakes has grown. And thanks to a friend of mine, Kenny Evans, he tutored me, and now I've learned how to probe snakes so I can effectively and efficiently tell exactly their gender. I've come to find out that my California king snake, King, is a female. So I don't know if you've seen the video I done on Raiden. That's a Florida king snake that I got. But he is a male, and he's about the same age as King. So I plan on breeding them. They're one of my breeding pairs. So like I said, there's going to be some great things coming out of the Python Pit. Some awesome animals. And again, I'm up for any kind of advice. I'm up to give advice. I'm up to help anybody out that we can. We do rescues. We do rehabilitation. And, yeah. And now we're trying to increase our social media footprint. So we're going to do more videos. We're going to keep with the 1-minute short videos. We're also going to try to do like a 15 or 30-minute video once a week. And we'll see where it goes. I might even do another platform where I just talk about other things besides reptiles, if you believe that. But, again, look at this. These animals are amazing. And again, I've had her since she was a baby. And it has just been, that's probably the best part about this, is watching her grow up into this monster you see before you. And believe me, it's been a long journey. There was a time when I didn't know how to feed, I didn't know how to do anything, and I was really scared because when I got her, she was not established. Now, Sprite, as I told you, she was one of the first snakes I got in my new home here. And before that, every other snake I've gotten, they were always, 2-3-year-olds. They were well established eaters, and I was just carrying on what I knew, they liked. Well, I got her as a baby, and I will tell you, my whole world changed because I had no idea. She doesn't like carpet. She doesn't like chips. She only likes aspen. She likes to be fed. She doesn't like to be put into a container. But she'll still come out of her tank with a semi-food response. But once she realizes that you're not, feeding her, she knows. She'll play around. She's very well temperamented. Very, very awesome. And again, she's almost 700 grams. And she's about, if I had to guesstimate, I'd say she's on the high end of 4, maybe approaching a little bit more than 4 feet. Because I'd say she's doubled up on my arm, and my arm's 2 feet long. You can see her head makes it all the way back. So yeah, I'd say she's a little over 4, approaching 5 feet. And again, she is just awesome. So, again, she's my female Brooks King Snake, albino Brooks King Snake. And, yeah, this is what we do. Weeknights, weekends. Weekends I have more time, but even during the weekdays, after a long day, man, again, aggravated with traffic and dealing with morons. And, yeah, we won't even go there. Coming home to these guys, it really relaxes you. It just, calms you down. Or at least calms me down. And I couldn't picture life without them, and I'm glad I got them. I feel blessed to have every one of them.